She was like, hey, my baby dad is calling me. And then she left. And I was like, oh, maybe she was busy. So I don't know. I felt awkward. What the heck? I felt awkward. I don't know how to say hi. If I feel like someone's busy, it's like... So this time, I was waiting for my call and she was right there. And I was... Yeah.
Rihanna, na, na, doesn't like Tyla, la, la. This is why you don't want to meet your idols, because they don't like you.
Rihanna is like my number one like inspiration. You know, she coming from where she comes from and making it like being a global superstar, one of the greatest. So for the fact that she knew who I was and loved my music, I was like, I'm doing something all right.
Yes.
Obviously, I want to go deeper in this chat because there's more to this Rihanna and Tyla situation than what we can physically see. And yeah, maybe it's deeper than jealousy and other stuff. But let me touch on what I can assume from my POV and what's on the internet. Yes, Tyla has been a fan of Riri for the longest time, and we know she has not shied away from expressing her admiration. But Rihanna knows co-signing Tyla's existence will benefit Tyla more than her. She knows she's the torchbearer, she's the gatekeeper to Black Pop, and now there's a contender for her throne. She knows they've never had a pretty girl from Joburg, see her now, and that's what people. She knows with a big push behind Tyla by the machine and her cosign, Tyla will skyrocket to a level of stardom that will fill the pop void Rihanna has left. As for Tyla, she knows she's pretty, can sing, and we can look what her body can do. Look. She feels the connection with Riri, who moved from her Caribbean country to establish a legacy in the US. Tyla sees herself in Rihanna, and that's why she admires her so much. She's so inspired by her, she reheats Rihanna's natural just so she can feel the nostalgia of the fans who are still waiting for Rihanna's 9th album. So when she posts that she met Riri a year ago and was kind of snubbed, messy girl, you know what you're doing.
Met her last year and she was cool. You know, I met her, but I think she was occupied because she was like, I went up to her, I was like, oh, hey. And she was like, hey, my baby dad is calling me. And then she left. And I was like, oh.
But it's to water down the awkward cringe. What the situation she was in at the Met Gala. It was to prove that she, in fact, has interacted with Queen Riri, but it's not her fault that she was standing there looking like a rainbow chicken. She knows it fuels the narrative that Riri is jealous of her and how pretty she is and her tiny little waist, allegedly. Truth be told, foundational Black Americans don't like Tyla that much. They've accused her of being uppity and snobbish. They've shown their dislike by not purchasing her latest body of work just to harm her, to remind her that they rule the culture over here in America, and if she wants to be pop in America, then she needs the approval of the Black culture. And right now, no. Because of this dislike, Tyla has to find other means to raise her brand equity, the way that the public views, trusts, and values her image. That's what brand equity is. So a Rihanna cosign or shout out will definitely favor Tyla, because you know Rihanna is the princess of of Black pop. Period. Rihanna also knows this. She knows, unlike Ayra Starr, Tyla has more of a chance because of her looks and her genetics and how she's perceived and voice to be propelled higher musically and brand-wise. That's why she was ignoring Tyla at the Met Gala. That's why she ignored her the first time that they met and said, you know, my baby daddy is calling me. Meanwhile, Rihanna is over there laughing with every other pop star except the one that has confidently and been shouting all over the streets, I love Rihanna. That's my answer. Oh my God, Rihanna, 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 Rihanna. Sure.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Real long. Just see a young lady who's still grounded in who she is and where she came from, and I love that. Sweet.
Hey, Riri. Ah!
You look gorgeous.
Thank you, Riri. You look gorgeous.
Who was an artist you meet and like they're a fan of you and you're like, you listen to my
Rihanna. That was a big moment for me because, you know, all my life, like, I look up to Rihanna and say, yo, I love Rihanna. Like, she's my Caribbean queen.
She asked me to be a part of the special moment, and I was honored. And she's just such a light, like, positive spirit, free spirit.
Rihanna turns around, grabs both my hands like this. And I'm like, what is happening? And she's like, I know you. You guys are doing so well. Keep up the good job. And she gave me like the biggest hug. I didn't know what to say. And I was just like, thank you so much. How crazy is that?
Who would I want to meet? Rihanna.
If I could only do a song with Billie Eilish.
Did you see her reaction to you saying that?
Yeah.
She was like, what?
Billie Eilish.
Well, amongst other things, like having a tense moment with her baby daddy on that day, you know, that's why she ignored her again. Rihanna knows that that shutout will be likened to her passing the torch, and maybe she don't want to stop being Pop's favorite right now. She don't want to co-sign her replacement. Rihanna knows Tyla is pressure, and she doesn't want to be replaced, nor her brand equity used to propel Tyla's career. And that's the surface level truth. Now let's go deeper, cause so what's really beneath the surface? You remember Rihanna's Good Girl Gone by Air? The air that changed the game for black pop? You remember the boundaries and walls Rihanna had to break to go against what people had seen her as, a naive Caribbean girl that can almost sing, but not really. But okay, she looks nice, so maybe she can. She had something to prove, and she did. But all this came at a cost. In a soul level, by the way, thank you for joining me in this convo. Like, share, and sub to Soul Batina if you like the content, and I'll do more. I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself, at a soul level, her bad girl identity transformed her essence from a more innocent soul to a soul gone rogue. Or is it vogue? Clock it. There were no limitations to her imagination, and she pushed the line on who she was. The transformation wasn't just a brand thing, a music thing to sell and break records. It became her. She became the bad girl gone bad. She became the monster inside of her head that she fell in love with. She was the rider of the woo boy, falling in love in hopeless places. She had transformed from the good girl image and became the Rihanna. And that takes sacrifice. That takes power. And not always the good kind, you know, because as much as it was revolutionary to the music industry, it was also an invitation to a very dark energy. Now stay with me, cha. Rihanna became a portal through which a dark shadow, a dark essence could move through her sound and shape the minds of those who listened and resonated and consented to that sound. Tyla being one of them fans. No wonder she's so happy. No, let's not go there. So, to meet a monster you created triggers insecurities, envy, and a protective nature, because does Tyla really know what Rihanna had to go through to be widely admired like that? Does she know how much dark energy she had to pull in and, you know, transmute within herself to be able to go that rogue, that against the societal norms? Yes, Rihanna had a powerful label and mentor behind her brand, but Study the imagery on that album and study the mentor behind her brand. Study why Rihanna hasn't put out new music in 10 years and instead has chosen to focus on her business and family. She knows the type of energy that it takes to reach the level she has reached. She knows that in some way she had to sell her soul by consenting to certain use of dark imagery and words and play. She had to go against the grain and rebel. And it is written, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. No shade. All shade. I haven't heard Rihanna praise Jesus either. Okay? I haven't heard from her mouth say, Jesus is my Lord. So I'm assuming that she used some sort of dark magic, black magic, dark words instead in songs like Man Down or What Now? I just can't figure it out. Or Fell in love with the monsters and that night. The imagery and rituals she performed on her videos. Come on, guys. Do I really need to spell this out? And after all this, her essence being used, her going to the dark side and pushing boundaries, Rihanna is not gonna co-sign Tyla that easily. It's like Beyonce and Chloe's situation, because she knows Tyla is pressure to her. If Tyla is truly that girl, who's that girl? Who's that girl? What's poppin'? She has to earn her stripes and maybe doing the humiliation ritual that propels such idols to higher stardom. I don't know. And this is the deeper stuff. It's all spiritual, and Rihanna ranks high in that pyramid. Sure. As for Miss Uppity, Tyla, girl, this is embarrassing. I know you're so desperate to get into the good books of the black culture so that, you know, they can propel you to that level of stardom that they did Rihanna. But why did you have to go and snitch on your idol? Why did you have to go and come out with the narrative fast? Now Rihanna has to clap back with you with a song on Ayra Starr. And you know, you and Ayra Starr have been pitied. They are just as bitchy or uppity as you are. And then you might be disappointed. You might be like, meeting an idol can be a hit or miss experience. You can love them more or just faint like Michael's fans, or just find out that they are jealous of you. Your idols are not superhuman. They argue and grow old just like everyone else. They have souls, some sell, some buy. Yes, they might feel envious of you. Envy is easily triggered by a competing factor like good looks and a greater body. So it's really easy for them to be envious of you. Your idols will be envious of you because they have to go through the ringer to get what they had, and to imagine you just have to come there and sit still, look pretty and get all the accolades. Meanwhile, they had to go through these balls to get what they have. No, it doesn't sit well with them. Your idols are multifaceted people with flaws and bad days, and they change their personality, and they know how to switch when the camera is live and to switch off when it is not. They're just as mean. They're just as hungry and angry. They just argue with their baby daddy too, just like everyone else. So to anyone like Tyla, no human being or thing is worth your soul's devotion except the Almighty God, except Jesus Christ. And it is prideful to place someone else on a pedestal higher than that of the Almighty God. Why? Because idols will embarrass you, and they will always fall. Anyway, that's my spiel. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel. God bless you and bye.